Archangel Michael says, "My darling child, has been softly tapping on your door for hours. And now I'm speaking via his voice. I come to you not in thunder, but in a whisper that goes deeper than sound. You have no idea what's happening behind your back. You believe you are alone, yet you are being watched. Not in fear, but in love. Someone's heart is opening like a flower to you. It's urgent right now. The name will startle you. Yes, my timing is never off, nor is my message. Today isn't like yesterday. Something is happening that concerns marriage, destiny, and a name you have forgotten or buried. But the name is about to come to life. You believe love is silent, but heaven has been vocal about you recently. The angels have been whispering your name during meetings. And Archangel Michael has been entrusted to you today with something that may make your hands shake. He responds, "This is not something to postpone." He states, "The name must be spoken before sunset." He continues, "I need to tell you that this is not a coincidence. You are reading this because your spirit called out to me when you were half asleep last night. And I responded in full. Pay close attention. This is not about romance. It is larger. It's about a relationship that happened before you were born. A soul agreement encased in light. This person, yes, the one who wants to marry you, does not only desire you. They recognize you from another era, level, and life. And this time they're recalling slowly. Their spirit is awakening. The first name they murmured in their fantasies was yours. Warning. Pause and open your heart. If this message already feels personal, please subscribe to this channel before you forget. Someone else requires this, too. And the angels could use you to deliver it to them. This is not simply a video. This is a heavenly alert. Subscribe now to let heaven know you received it. You'll witness what occurs in the following 24 hours since little Archangel Michael is yelling in spirit. Say it. Say their name. You already know it. And you do, right? That name just crossed your mind. It has been stuck on your tongue for days. You hear it in unexpected places. You hear it when you awaken. That is not your imagination. That is me. That is paradise. They're attempting to reach you. But, why now? Because their soul is now pure enough to stand next yours. Their energy is being cleaned by light. Their humiliation is being removed. And they're preparing something that will need bravery. A proposition is taking shape, not merely in words, but also in action. They want to marry your soul, not your body. They want to walk beside you in reality. They want to pray with you, not only play with you. That's why the name will surprise you. Because this is not lust. This isn't casual. This is heavenly alignment. And now I must speak what you are terrified to hear. The delay was not due to a lack of affection for you. It was because they were unable to love themselves. But something has shaken them. And it is you. They saw something recently, an image, a post, a look, and it ruined them. They recognized you were more than simply someone they knew. You're the one. And now the whisper has turned into thunder. They're plotting their move, while heaven is arranging the rest. If I give you their name, would you listen to your heart rather than your fear? Let me say it again. The name will startle you. Not because it's new, but because it's the one you silently removed and never dared to dream would return. But now they are. They are being directed. They are being encouraged. Angels are working tirelessly to clear the way for them. Every obstruction, delay, and quiet is about to alter. But only if you are open. Only if you answer yes when they appear. You said you had been forgotten. But I'm telling you now that you've never left their hearts. Even when they ignored you, blocked you, talked to others, stared at others, or laughed with others, none of them were you. And you have no idea how many nights they grieved as they whispered your name to me. I did not disregard them. But I needed their souls to be prepared. I do not bless confusion. I do not reward disgrace. That is why I waited. That is why you waited. But the wait is gone because their soul is beginning to honor what it previously rejected in you. And this time, they are serious. This is not a message for the curious. This is a beautiful reminder. They are being moved by the Spirit to come forward, confess, return, and shock you. Because they understood you were more than just another human. You were the solution. You were the house. You were the promise. The angels are monitoring how you react. Because your spirit wished for this time long ago. I was there when you said, God, if they're truly the one, do something big. Prove it to me. Allow them to speak something, do something, or show something. And now they are about to. Something will occur shortly. A letter, a visit, a phone call, or a dream can eliminate any uncertainty. This isn't a game. This is marital energy. This is holy decision-making. You will notice the shift when it occurs. Their voices will sound different. Their statements will have weight. They will not flirt. They will say the truth. They will not pretend. They will confess. They will not hide. They will reveal. And your spirit will sense it before your ears do. That's how you'll recognize me. But, youngster, listen closely. The opponent will also attempt to whisper at this period. He will try to instill dread, uncertainty, and old wounds. He will ask, what if they hurt you again? What if this isn't real? What if they are just bored? But they are falsehoods. Because the soul that is emerging now is not the same soul you previously knew. This version of them is revived, honed, and ready. They have seen visions of you. They have heard things in spirit. They have felt your name crushed against their heart every morning for weeks and can no longer ignore it. I have done to them what only heaven could accomplish. I removed all of their distractions. I have ended their false tranquility. I've reminded them several times that you are the one, and now their spirits are trembling. They want to marry you. They're terrified to tell you, but much more afraid of living without you. And the name, I see you're still wondering. God, who is it? Please, just say it. I will say it to my child, not now, but in their time. You will hear it shortly. Loud and clear, sometimes uttered from their own lips, perhaps written in a telegram or spoken in a dream. However, once you hear it, your entire body will identify the sound. Because I have already printed it on your spirit. And until that day arrives, I need you to prepare. Yes. Prepare your heart and not your anxieties. Don't protect yourself. Be kind to yourself. Do not create barriers. Open the doors because they're approaching quickly. And they will say things you have want to hear. But I need you to be prepared to accept, not merely react. If you're still reading, this is a sign and confirmation. This is not an ordinary video. This is heaven reaching out for your hand. Take it immediately. Subscribe to the light. Share it. Allow me to utilize you as a messenger for others. Do not keep this to yourself. Someone else is praying for this time, and you may be their angel. Now lean in because I have more to reveal. They did not return earlier because they were under spiritual attack. Every time they tried to approach you, something held them back. Fear, pride, and delusions. However, something has broken over the previous 7 days. The spiritual chain snapped. They were moved to tears as they recalled you so vividly. They have been waking up with your name in their mouth. Even if they are not spiritual, they sense something larger. And they are terrified because it is so lovely. And now they are on the verge of doing something extreme, something unexpected, something they vowed never to do. But that's what love does when heaven is involved. It alters the rules. They are composing something right now. A message, a letter, a proposal, and the truth. And they're wondering if you'll accept or reject it. I need you to listen to me. If they talk, listen to your soul rather than your anguish. This is a sacred moment. Do not let your scars speak louder than my speech. Don't let fear stop me from accomplishing what I'm doing because I've planned timelines, hearts, and destiny for this very hour. Yes, hour, not day, not month, since everything is prepared. And if you miss it, you'll feel it strongly. I don't typically say this, but in this situation, time is critical. The window is rather short. If people open their hearts and see your door locked, they will retreat into quiet. And years later, you'll wonder what may have occurred. So don't wait, listen now. Do you recall when you let go? That peaceful day when you finally declared, God, I surrender. If they aren't intended for me, take them away. I've heard that. But I did not take them away. I took them deeper. I drew them into the furnace of refining. I showed them their weaknesses. I made them feel your absence in ways that quiet couldn't alleviate. I showed them what it would be like without your light. And that broke them. Not to chastise, but to awaken them. And suddenly they are awake. And what they sense is not desire, but fate. You've spent so long attempting to move on. You told yourself that it was over, but nothing I've genuinely written is ever forgotten. And I did write it. You felt it in your bones. You sensed it in the fact that you couldn't detest them even if you tried. That was not weakness. This was miraculous memory. Now listen to me, youngster. The person who wants to marry you is not flawless. However, they are changed. They've walked through rainstorms. They've struggled with angels while sleeping. They have asked me questions about you. Do they still think about me, God? Have I ruined everything? Will they forgive me? And my response to them has always been the same. Only if you speak. Only if you come clean. Now they will. But you have a choice. Heaven does not force love. I merely construct the route. You decide to walk it. If you still have the old version of them in your heart, let it go. Because what's coming is new, pure, daring, and sacred. They may stumble over words. They may be unsure how to begin. But their heart will communicate what their lips cannot. And you'll realize this isn't a scam. This is a promise manifested in human form. They've been watching you, kid, not with obsession, but with adoration, from afar and silently. They've been talking to others about you, asking questions, and attempting to work up the guts to reach out. They wanted to know if you were seeing somebody, if you were still upset, or if you were still open. And when they found out you were still single, they grieved softly, believing they had lost you forever. But now they perceive that God may not have closed the door. Perhaps the door was simply waiting for the appropriate knock. And now, the knock is coming. In 3 days, you will see a sign, a dream, a name, a number, a whisper, and a synchronicity so obvious that your skin will quiver. That is when you will realize it has begun. The unraveling, the return, the startling realization that someone wants to marry you, and it's them. They may not express it directly at first. They may test the waters with a subtle message, a tale they give you, or a comment, but their energy will speak volumes. And your spirit will tingle with recognition. Do not dismiss the sensation. Don't run from it. Do not examine it. Just feel it, because I'll be standing between the two of you, ensuring that the words reach your heart rather than your ears. Now, youngster, take a deep breath, because I'm about to tell something that may terrify you. They were previously hesitant to commit, but now they are frightened of losing you forever. That shift affected everything. They're studying rings. They are chatting with someone older and wiser. Every night, they mentally prepare for a talk with you. They do not want to date you. They want to go through life with you. They aim to create something eternal. They want you to say yes. However, the decision is still yours. If you're asking why now, God, let me tell you. Because love does not exist unless it is tried. And both of you have been tried. You have cried. You have grown. You have loved in quiet. And now it is time to love really, not via illusion, but through reality. Marriage isn't based on butterflies. It's based on bold, steadfast love. That's what's coming. Not a flawless person, but a determined spirit who is now ready to regard your heart as sacred. This is a confirmation. They had been the one all along. The name will surprise you, not because it is unique, but because it is quite familiar. You'll feel the ground move when you hear it again. It'll feel like sunlight after a decade of darkness. That is how you will know I am involved. That is how you will know paradise is in harmony with your heart. And when they utter your name again, they murmur, I have never stopped loving you. You'll see every wound start to heal. You have longed for this day. Not because you were desperate, but because you were prudent. You refused to settle. You did not give your soul to counterfeiters. You did not lose yourself to superficial love. And now I am rewarding you with something that has always been yours. Them. I watched how you gazed at them that day, even though you had no idea they were observing. And I noticed how they shifted their gaze away because the reality was too weighty. Love, true love, is a heavy thing. It requires the truth. It need change. And they're changing for the first time. Not because someone instructed them to, but because their own spirit is sick of pretending. They can no longer maintain the pretense of peace. They can't make a false link. They want the genuine deal. And only you ever felt that way toward them. Angels are standing around you right now, child. Your room isn't vacant. You feel a sense of stillness. And it's not just feeling, it's presence. We are witnessing your heart soften. Heaven is keeping track of every second you've waited. You sobbed every tear alone. Every time you said, God, I just want someone to see me. I saw you. They now do, too. They hadn't seen you clearly previously since their view was blurred. But I've eliminated the fog. I've reduced the noise. And I've etched your name so loudly into their chest that they can't even eat without feeling it reverberate. You are not forgettable. You are memorable. And that is not your attractiveness. It is your soul. How you listen. How you love. You hold room for others. That is what attracted me to you. And it is what is attracting them back to you. You may be terrified now. What if they aren't real? What happens if they break me again? But, kid, you are not the same either. You will not be broken like before. You've become wiser and stronger. And this time, I'll be in the room for the talk. I'll direct their words. I will soothe your heart. I'll confirm it in quiet locations since it's me. This is my time. This is heaven's plan. The name will come slowly. You may hear it while viewing anything random. You could find it scribbled in an old memo or correspondence. You could have a dream about it. But when it does, I want you to murmur back, okay, God. I hear you. Because that moment will trigger something in your soul, and you will begin to recognize indications everywhere. Music relevant to your condition. Numbers are echoing that peculiar sensation in your chest that something is going to happen. It's not worry, it's alignment. Do not disregard it. This is not a message for enjoyment. This is a holy outpouring of the truth. And if you're still here, that means you were picked to get it. The next days will disclose more. The door will open. A message will arrive. A secret will be revealed. And real, God-breathed love will manifest itself. I am not finished writing your narrative. I'm just now turning the most essential page. But I'll warn you gently. People may attempt to distract you or persuade you that this isn't genuine. Do not let them drown out what I'm saying. This is between you and heaven. Nobody else can decide what happens to you. Let them chuckle. Allow them to doubt. But you keep watching. You keep waiting. You remain open. Because when it occurs, and it will, the glory will be immense. Even your opponents will say, perhaps God was with them all along. Now, breathe with me. The next 24 hours are a holy countdown. Someone is prepared to tell you something they've been keeping back for years. Do not be shocked if it's messy, embarrassing, or emotional. That is how genuine healing starts. Don't run from it. Sit in it. Feel it, because I'll be there too. Wrapping my arms around both of you. Bringing tranquility into the present. Washing away all that came before. This is not a return to the past. This is a resurrection. The name will eventually be revealed. And when it happens, I want you to say your name back with strength, love, and readiness. Because they aren't simply come to say they love you. They're going to ask you something profound, holy, and perhaps life-changing. And your response will alter the environment. If you experience this message, authenticate it with your spirit. Now murmur, God, I'm ready. Say it aloud if you can. Allow your room to hear you. Allow the angels to record it. Because once you express that willingness, heaven will begin to act more quickly. The energy will accelerate up. The relationship will strengthen. You will have a sudden sense of urgency in your body. That is me. Archangel Michael is sending the word via your skin. It is real. It is occurring. And you are going to witness it for yourself. Remain calm. Continue to be open. Stay present. Because the name you never anticipated, the person you believed had passed away, is now standing in the light of heaven. And they are saying, God, I am ready to marry them. Please let them know. And I simply did. You are no longer waiting. Yes, they are. Now ready to be shocked, because love, real love, is at your door, and the name is just a message away. Yes, sweetheart, I will continue because your soul is still listening, and heaven has not done speaking. What is going on around you is deeper than your eyes can see. It is spiritual. It's full of energy. It's divine intervention disguised as discomfort. You are not merely being notified. You are being woken. This stranger keeps approaching your residence. This shadow that returns while you're not at home. They don't even aware they've invaded hallowed territory. They're traveling into hallowed land. Because the environment you dwell in bears your spiritual imprint. And the impression is exquisite. You don't just live in a home. You inhabit an area characterized by God's love. A place where angels stay. A place where your tears, laughter, and prayers have created vibrations in the air. That's why the intrusion seems so off. Because something precious is being handled by someone with no authority. They assume they are undetected. They believe no one sees, but heaven does. I see. Your spirit perceives. And this is the last instant before complete illumination. Something significant is about to happen. A change, a confrontation, not through fighting or fury, but through truth. Their faces will be exposed. Perhaps in a chat you weren't intended to overhear. Perhaps in a dream so vivid that you believe you experienced it firsthand. Perhaps it was a slip of the tongue from someone who knows too much. But it will happen. In such case, you won't even need to respond. You will just stand in the light. Your silence will be stronger than any charge. Because you'll realize this war was never about you. It was about what you carry, what's coming, and who you're supposed to become. You see, youngster, you have something special inside you that most people cannot manage. Instead of creating their own light, some individuals attempt to steal someone else's radiance. This individual, this visitor, this invader was never seeking your belongings. They were looking for your frequency, your soul, that undeniable presence you have when you enter into a room. When they couldn't find it in themselves, they attempted to borrow it from you without your consent. But that is not how the spirit operates. Unearned energy becomes unstable. And now their pandemonium is beginning to unravel. This is why they are desperate. That's why they keep returning. But this time, they'll face an unexpected power. You are totally awakened. You are totally insured. You walk with celestial might. You finally realize that the discomfort was not an assault. It was a call. A spiritual alarm sounding deep inside your soul, calling you to return to yourself. And now you have responded. You are no longer the person you were when you first sensed the change. You have changed. And no matter what this stranger does now, it's too late since you've returned to your core. You have recalled who you are. A heavenly kid, a spiritual fighter, a pure vessel of light that darkness cannot comprehend. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt, stronger than ever. And now I must tell you something concerning your next steps. Over the following several days, the energy surrounding you will be lighter. Don't be startled if you suddenly get emotional for no apparent reason, if you experience shivers while sitting quietly, or if a feather appears in an odd location. These aren't accidents. These are signals, evidence that the divine has moved, that guards have been stationed, and that your home, energy, and name are now enveloped in layers of celestial protection. Your place has been recovered. Heaven has closed the entrance that previously enabled the bad energy to enter. And the calm that you lost is on its way back. Stronger, deeper, and more resilient than ever before. There's something more I need you to know. You're not insane for experiencing too much. You are not hallucinating these developments. You are spiritually endowed. And the more you embrace this fact, the more secure you feel, and the more your intuition develops. The incorrect individuals start to drift out of your life. You will begin to notice the change. Friends who were previously close may now seem distant. Places you once loved may now seem weighty. That is your spirit informing you what is in alignment and what has expired. Listen. Do not cling to something that no longer seems secure. This season is about clearing the spiritual clutter so that your next miracle can land. And, yes, the miracle is coming. That's why this war happened initially. You know, spiritual assaults often occur just before breakthrough. This was the last distraction before heavenly exaltation. But now that you know, nothing can stop what's happening. I had already watched it. The delight, the change, the instant you walk into something built just for you. The letter, the chance, the unexpected guest who says something that unlocks a new door. Everything is in action right now. You simply need to remain in your light. Maintain a sense of stability. Stay safe. Bring vitality into your space. Wake up and declare aloud, this house is sacrosanct. This body is sacrosanct. This day is covered. When you do this, heaven replies. The angels align. And the intruder's route is stopped by a strong light that blinds them. Now, take a breath, youngster. Right here, deep. Close your eyes if necessary. Let this sink in. You were never meant to bear this anxiety alone. You were never meant to dwell in this turmoil without answers. This message got to you because I wanted it to. You deserve to know the truth. And now you understand, you are no longer a victim. You are not a person to be monitored. You are someone who should be revered, safeguarded, and raised. I've assigned 2 angels to walk with you for the next 7 days. You won't see them, but you will sense their presence as tranquility returns to your space. Noise quiets around you. They are more than simply guardians, as your slumber deepens. They are bringers of fresh delight. One will cleanse their energies. The other will prepare the route. And when this is finished, you will look back with trust rather than dread. Because you'll realize this was the tipping moment. The instant the onslaught stopped, your authority restored. You're not the same anymore. You're covered, crowned, and selected forever. And so it is. Yes, I will continue because your spirit is still absorbing, mending, and receiving what heaven has long waited to pour into you. Certain things cannot be hastened. And this tranquil moment you're experiencing right now is one of them. The environment around you is changing right now, softly, gently, but profoundly, because something in your spirit has finally said yes. Yes, to awareness. Yes, to truth. Yes to asserting your heavenly power and saying no more. There will be no more quiet suffering. There will be no more shrugging it off. No more ignoring things that obviously violate your tranquility. You finally realize that your tranquility is not a minor thing. It is holy and must be cherished like a treasure. Now I'd like to show you something about the stranger. Not only do their acts matter, but so does their motivation. Because you must comprehend the kind of energy you're working with. This individual carries more than simply curiosity. They convey hunger. Not the sort that wants nourishment, but the kind that craves identification. They've been wandering spiritually, lost and empty. And as they approached your residence, they sensed something. They may not have understood it properly, but they felt spiritual protection. They sensed what you were carrying without trying. And in their own darkness, they opted to keep coming back, to take, to touch, to be close, but not to heal, to develop, but to duplicate, to take shortcuts, to attempt to wear your energy like an unsuitable coat. But the coat does not fit them. It never will. Because the reality is, what is intended for you cannot be taken. And each time they attempt, every time they return to touch what is holy, they bring additional penalties upon themselves. You don't need vengeance. You don't have to capture them red-handed. Heaven already has. The exposure will not only affect your eyes, but also those of others. People will see through their attempts to explain, rationalize, and downplay. More significantly, you will experience a change in power because your kid is no longer weak. You're entering a period of spiritual development. A location where your intuition guides you and your light defends you before danger can approach your doorstep. Let me state it simply now. This will never happen again, not to your house, your heart, or your soul, because the veil over your existence has strengthened. Angel's presence has risen, and your spiritual armor, which was before stored in the closet, is now completely on you. You are guarded. You're ready. You are no longer the fragile spirit they misunderstood for weak. When they attempt to go close, they will sense it in the air. Something will halt, obstruct, or confuse them. They won't comprehend why they can't go ahead anymore. But you will, because you will know that heaven has closed that door permanently. Now let's talk about your residence. Not simply the building in which you reside, but also the energy in that area. I want you to anoint it. Cleanse it. Declare over it. This is your temple. Speak these phrases as you carefully stroll through it. Only love exists here. Only tranquility prevails here. No darkness, ghost, or stranger can penetrate the brightness of this abode. Say it aloud. Even if your voice shakes, say it as soon as you wake up. Say that when the sun sets. Say it until your house not only seems secure, but also holy. And when you do so, every wall, doorway, and floorboard will begin to repeat those words as a shield. The air will change, the energy will increase, and the next time darkness attempts to enter, it will be forced to turn away. Child, this is a fresh beginning for you, a spiritual rebirth. Your eyesight is becoming sharper. Your judgment is increasing. You'll start to see things that were always there but you weren't paying attention to. Feeling nervous around some individuals. That dense energy in particular spots. That abrupt fatigue you get when you get a communication from someone you know you shouldn't trust. All of this is your spirit alerting you before danger approaches. Listen. Trust it. Do not second-guess it. You were given that talent for a purpose. And now that you're aware of it, it will lead you through all that is ahead. And what lies ahead is magnificent. I see benefits approaching in waves. I see previously shut doors starting to open, not because of your might, but because of your submission. I can sense pleasure returning to your space. I envision someone new entering your life with calm in their hands and honesty in their heart. Nor someone who steals, nor someone who hides, but someone who reflects your light because they have faced and overcome their own darkness. Someone sent, not attracted, a person who is in sync with this new version of you, the authentic you, the awakened you. And I see abundance not just in money or opportunity, but also in calm, serenity, and the ability to finally sit in your place and breathe without anxiousness sitting alongside you. That is the prize for listening, acting, and holding firm in your spiritual beliefs. This is the season when tranquility is forever. Not transient or unsteady, but solidly planted like a tree that no storm can shake. You've been praying for this for so long. You've wondered when it will eventually arrive. And now the answer is coming. Not with commotion or drama, but with gentle adjustments that you'll only notice because you've tuned in to heaven's voice. So keep your head up now. You've accomplished something that most people never do. You confronted the unseen and still claimed your power. You've replied to a message with not just interest, but also obedience. You followed the voice that whispered, "Open this before it's too late." And it's not too late. It's exactly on time. The assault failed. The spirit behind the incursion has been expelled. The energy around your life has been rewired. And, sure, you are about to enter the most spiritually safeguarded phase of your life. You are not the same person you were before to receiving this message. You're stronger. You're encircled. You're safe. And now I deliver these last words to etch this message deeply into your psyche. No weapon made against you will flourish. No guest with evil intentions may enter. No curse, no dread, and no shadow can exist where God's light is present. This house is covered. This soul is sealed. This path is wonderful. This story has now been redeemed. You may now shut your eyes and relax. The angels continue to watch, and I am present at all times. Archangel Michael, kid, I am still present. Don't hurry away. Just because the message seems to be full does not always imply that the blessing has arrived. Sometimes the most precious discoveries occur in the silence after the speech. This stillness, this quiet, is also part of my presence. It's how I let my serenity sink into your breast like soothing rain on dry soil. Stay with me. Breathe. Because I'm not only sending you a message, I'm also giving you time to receive it. Yes, I have disclosed something significant. A name, a strategy, and a spiritual reunion. But I don't just want you to hear it. I want you to believe it, trust it, and carry it as a seed in your heart. Because, kid, what you hold and trust now will become your reality tomorrow. Allow this truth to take root. Allow it to go from your ears to your bones. You are dearly loved, forever seen, and completely remembered. Now, listen again. This is not about rushing into romance. It is all about preparation for a certain objective. You've both been through enough to know that love without a solid foundation crumbles in the face of a storm. However, this has been reconstructed from the inside out. What once shattered you is now the thing that will hold you together in strength. You have both been polished. Not to punish, but to protect. What happens next isn't delicate. It's been fire-tested. I want you to laugh again. To be able to breathe better and look forward to mornings with delight rather than uncertainty, since I am not the God of chaos. I am the God of clarity. And I'm providing that clarity now, little by bit, hour by hour. You'll see serenity begin to replace the racing thoughts. You will wake up without the anguish in your chest. You will grin naturally. These are indicators. They play an important role. Don't dismiss little miracles. They lead to larger ones. And, while the person I've mentioned prepares to disclose their heart to you, I ask that you do something as well. Forgive. Not for their sake, but for yours. Let go of what they were previously unable to become. Release the grief they inflicted in their uncertainty. Don't bring yesterday into tomorrow's doorway. I'm creating something new, and new things cannot grow on old soil. So, youngster, dig out the past. Bless it. Let it go. And trust me to fill your hands with something much superior. You are nearly there. Do you feel it? That inner tug, the silent understanding. Heaven is not just above you, but also surrounds you right now. If you listen carefully, you may even hear their soul beckoning yours. It is real. The name is genuine, and it is coming. But let me tell you something much more wonderful than a name. You. Yes, you are the miracle that they are going to see. They aren't merely acknowledging your existence. They are embracing the gift I have created for you. You are their answered prayer. Their turning moment, an unexpected gift. That is why I have taken such care in developing you. That's why I've been keeping you away from distractions. Because I knew the day would come when the one who had gone away would return, not to harm you, but to respect you. And this time, they will do it correctly. You can feel it in their eyes. You can hear it in their breath. You'll see it in their deeds, and you'll know it's the love heaven created for me. So, one final time, speak their name in your heart. Feel it resonate in your spirit. And when they come, don't be startled. Smile and whisper back. I had been yearning for this since I was a youngster. So have they, and so have I. Amen. Yes, dear, I will continue. Because, even if a message seems to be full, your heart may want a little more time to soak in the warmth of my voice. This is more than simply what's coming. It's about how I hold you right now. Because I understand that when your heart yearns for love, even a few additional words from me might seem like a lifeline. So please let me remain with you. You've had so many almosts, nearly chosen, almost loved, and almost understood. You sacrificed your heart so many times, believing it would be the one, only to see it shatter again. That's why when I say someone is coming with pure love, your heart doesn't jump right away. It hesitates, and that's well. I understand the hesitancy. It signifies that your heart is still mending. But you need to know this. I will never pull you back into something that would just hurt you worse. This is not like previously. You aren't moving backward. You are getting deeper. What comes next is not a repeat of your history. This is restoration, not repetition. Redemption, not uncertainty. And, although the name may seem familiar, what is about to unfold will feel like a whole new planet. Because, kid, you have grown. Your soul has developed. You've learned to sit quietly, to find courage when no one cheers for you, and to wipe your own tears when no one shows up. You've learned to spot bogus tranquility. You've learned to walk away from almost loves. Most essential, you have learned to hear me clearly. And that's altered everything. Because now, when the genuine thing appears, your spirit will know it immediately. You will no longer pursue. You will attract. You will no longer plead. You will receive. You will never longer be puzzled. You will be at ease. This is my pledge. You will not miss what is intended for you. Regardless of how long it is delayed. No matter how long it remained concealed, everything I wrote in heaven will be revealed on earth, and it will feel precisely like alignment because it is. Now let me speak to your heart. The portion you don't show others. The half that keeps crying in the dark. The portion that still asks, am I really lovable? The portion that is bored of always being strong. Yes, I see the part. And I say it with affection. You're more than lovable. You are deserving of holy, patient, and everlasting love. And I've already spoken your name into the ears of the one who is looking for you. They're getting closer. And they won't be late. I'll make sure of it. You won't need to ask for clarification. You will not need to perform to get picked. You won't have to give up yourself to be appreciated. You're already enough. And that is what this individual will see. The genuine you. Heaven applauds the one who goes unnoticed. The one who fights quiet wars but chooses love. That's the side of you I admire. And that is the version they are looking for. So now, prepare your place, not just your room, but also your energy. Make space in your heart for joy again. Eliminate the worry. Sweep away the bitterness. Light a candle if necessary. Say a prayer. They are being relocated right now, so whisper, I am ready. I was aroused and pulled to you. Their heartbeat is racing. Their palms are sweaty, but they are coming. And you'll know when they come, whether it's via a message, a voice note, or a surprise visit, since my presence will be felt at all times. And just before they utter it, just before they whisper that shocking name, you will experience a peculiar sensation similar to time standing still. That will be the confirmation you requested. It's all genuine. The name is genuine. The marriage is genuine. The timing is genuine. And you're not late. You are exactly on time. This love is precisely on time. Stay close to me. Pay attention to the signs. Listen when I urge you. And when it starts, say yes. Even if your hands tremble and your heart races, say yes to the love I've hand-delivered to you after all this time. Because when you say yes to true love, heaven rejoices. And I grin, because my vow was never merely to wait. It was always about getting. Now you will. Amen. Yes, my dear kid. Let us keep going. Because your soul isn't looking for simply another message. It is begging for company. A hand to hold while waiting. A voice that does not vanish when the video concludes. So that's who I am. I am not simply the beginning. I'm the in-between, the stillness, the storm, and the unexpected peace that follows. I remain while the others depart. I speak while others are mute. I hold you even when you forget how to stand. So pay special attention now, since this portion is just for your heart. I see you feigning at times, smiling at others, and behaving as if you have gone on. But I also see you at night, when you turn out the lights, lie down, and mutter things that no one can hear. So, God, what if it never happens to me? God, why do I feel forgotten? God, am I asking too much? No, children. You aren't asking too much. You're asking for what your spirit already remembers. You're not insane for hanging on. You are not weak for seeking something profound. You are not desperate because you want a lasting relationship. You are merely tuned in, aware of what your soul agreed to before this existence started. And now you're closer than ever to making that promise a reality. That's why the discomfort has been louder recently. That is why the indications are growing. That is why this name continues resonating. Let me explain this calmly. They've never stopped loving you. However, they did not know how to properly retain love. They believed that they needed to be prepared for anything came their way. More money, more confidence, and higher position. But they needed greater surrender, silence, and honesty. And I've been working on it quietly and seriously. I've been rearranging things, not to make them perfect, but to be ready for you. Yes, you. You, the one reading this, have always served as their mirror, to whom they have compared everyone else. In quiet, their hearts return to one person. They may have fled, but they now realize they were fleeing something other than terror. It was home. And they are on their way back. This time, we're staying rather than just visiting. And I know the question remains. But, God, what if I open my heart and they do not select me again? Listen to me with your whole spirit, child. They aren't offered an option this time. They have been given a calling, a soul calling, an assignment, a heavenly pull that no amount of rationality can dissuade them from. And when I call, I finish what I started, and what I write, I fulfill. That is why this name, the one you keep feeling, seeing, and burying behind skepticism, is on the rise. That individual is aligning. That time is near. And soon you will be staring into the eyes of the one you thought you had lost, and they will say, I thought I had more time, but the truth is I couldn't go another day without telling you what you mean to me. And you'll sense my presence standing between you two, smiling, since I was there every second you believed I was quiet. I wasn't. I was prepping the stage. Now, my dear one, I understand you are exhausted, but don't give up before the page flips. You are not at the finish. You are standing at the threshold to a miracle. Do not shut your heart right now. Do not become numb. Do not persuade yourself this is simply another message. Because once you feel this in your chest, you'll know. It is not only a name. It's your name inscribed on another person's lips, going to be uttered with shaking hands and teary eyes. They love you. They always have. But now they're ready to demonstrate it. And all of heaven is holding its breath. Because when they eventually speak and you finally listen, the future I planned for both of you will begin. Yes, kid. This is the start of your love story, and it was worth every second of the wait. Amen.